Hey guys, it's Eric with the Miller Park Minute, where we're throwing strikes, getting likes, hitting dingers, getting listeners, back with another podcast. This is your only Brewers Daily podcast. We come at you daily, 5:30 a.m. Central Standard Time on YouTube, Spotify, Google, Amazon, Castbox, iHeartRadio, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, and Apple Podcasts. We record every episode live nightly, so every night you could jump on a stream. You just got to message me on Twitter or Facebook, and I will gladly let you jump on and talk Brewers with me. That being said, we also do a live for everyone Saturdays at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time or after the game. We will be going live after most games. You can support the show at patreon.com/MillerParkMinute. And we also have a SeatGeek code where you can get $20 off your first purchase with SeatGeek using the code MillerParkMinute. That being said, let's get into today's episode. We got a lot, guys. Lots to talk about, lots going on. We're picking up in the baseball version of the news again. So of course, let's talk about the game first. First and foremost, we had a spring training game today. It was a loss, so we're 3-3 on spring training. Again, that doesn't all really matter. But we did get to see a little WBC World Baseball Classic, Devin Williams. So that's important. I mean, obviously these guys, like for instance, we played the Angels, so Trout and Ohtani are getting their work in before they go play. So it's good to see these guys. This is the action that we're going to get to see out of them. And that's good. I mean, Devin Williams got out there. He pitched an inning, scoreless. Didn't have any strikeouts. Actually, it was kind of rare that there was strikeouts. Varlin and Vieira were were the only ones, and that was late in the game too. That was very late in the game before there was even a strikeout accounted for by either end of the pitchers. So that was a different ball game, a different thing. But a lot of ground ball outs today. Barrasso hit another homer. So that was good to see. Right now we're just these guys are collecting at bats. You started with Mitchell. Mitchell had a solid day today. Got a hit, scored a run. He did strike out twice. Weimer did not have any hits, but he walked once, struck out once. Frelick, again, no hits on today. Ariz, no hits on today. And we had very few overall hits today. It was only 7 of. Well, we still had hit the Angels, but I mean, just didn't seem like timely hitting was happening today. So, but it's spring training. It's tune-up. Everybody's getting warmed up. Peyton Henry was out there today. Bryce Turing was out there today. Miller, again, Owen Miller, Bolt, Hira, Turo. So we did have some of the guys that we need to see play, and that's a good thing. Devin Williams got an outing before he, gets to practicing with the WBC team, which is good. Time of game was 2 hours and 40 minutes. It was a cold weather day down there. Nothing really crucial. Mike Trout also went 1 for 2 today, so in case you care about Mike Trout's stuff. Toro was 2 for 2 though. So RBI. A walk. So of course McCally's going to cover this, and this is kind of the important news of today. Devin Williams, classic on deck. Devin Williams gets first action with the timer. So the big thing for Devin Williams, and we've already kind of elaborated on this, is learning that pitch clock, that timer. He is one of the guys that takes the longest, and he did really well today. Devin Williams' first spring training outing in Wednesday's 4-3 loss went like this: 1 inning pitched, 3 flyouts to center, and no pitch timer violations. It's a routine debut for the Brewers' most methodical pitcher as he ramps up for the WBC. I'm pretty much used to the pitch timer at this point, said Williams, who, like all Brewers pitchers, has already thrown a series of bullpens, live batting practice sessions well on the clock. Maybe I'll adjust a little more as time goes on, but I felt pretty comfortable out there. Yet it's nothing foreign to anyone. So that's good to hear. I mean, considering he was one of the biggest concerns, and we've already talked about this, he took a lot of time. It was something in the neighborhood of 30 to 35 seconds. So 15 seconds to deliver, he did it, and 20 seconds when runners around. Well, we didn't see that, so didn't have to worry about it. But good outing for Devin. I mean, that's very exciting. Seeing as he is the closer of the future, he is our guy. I'm very excited that Devin is coming out looking good. Now, injury news happened today. Tyrone Taylor looks like he is not going to make it in time for the first month of the season. So that's Tyrone Taylor, Aaron Ashby. So, of course, that brings us to another Adam McCalvy opening day roster. So, of course, catchers stayed the same. William Contreras, Victor Caratini, first base, Rowdy Tellez, and Luke Voigt. He is saying Luke Voigt makes the roster. I kind of thought that was going to happen because it's a good backup option to Rowdy, a good option for a, like a platoon type situation if we need it. So got to have that guy. Second base is going to be Luis Urias. Willie Adames is shortstop. Third base, Brian Anderson. And that's subject to change. But outfield is going to be Christian Yelich, Garrett Mitchell, and Tyler Naquin. Jesse Winker at DH. And utility, he's got Keston Hiura and Mike Brasso. And again, those are the kind of pieces that are at question at this juncture. Starting pitchers, you've got Brandon Woodruff, Corbin Burns, Eric Lauer, Freddie Peralta, Wade Miley, and Adrian Hauser all running out the starting rotation. Whether we go with the 6-man rotation or we make one of those guys a long relief guy, we'll see. At this juncture, he says the relief pitchers are going to be Devin Williams, Matt Bush, Hobie Milner, Peter Strzelecki, Javi Guerra, Bryce Wilson, and Joel Payamps. So he's still still sticking with the same guys. Not saying that there's a fit for Varland, but Varland is still a dark horse. Other depth options are Jake Cousins, Elvis Perguo, Abner Rebre, and Cam Robinson can be opted. Justin Wilson signed at the start of camp, but isn't expected to be fully back from Tommy John until July. So we got some time yet. It's still crowded in the new look bullpen was what he's saying. I think this is right on target. The only thing I'm not seeing, and my question would be, what about Turang? But you did sign these new guys, so the Brian Andersons and the he doesn't have Miller on there either. Interesting. There's going to be a guy left off. At the end of the day, there's going to be a guy left off of this thing, and we just got to figure out who it's going to be. So whether it's Owen Miller, it's Brian Anderson, or Luke Voigt, whoever, Tyler Naquin looks like he's going to make it at this point just due to this injury to Tyrone Taylor. And I already said that. Somebody's like, well, hoping for Tyrone to go down to injury. No, I wasn't hoping. I was just saying that Tyler Naquin is the next up, and it came to be. I wish I could go back to that tweet where that guy said that, or Facebook message. But regardless, you're going to have that. People are going to go up and down. If Keston gets hurt, there's going to be one of those other guys that's going to replace him. That's just how this game works. I'm very like kind of temperamental on who I think is going to be where at this juncture because it's so hard to tell. It really is so hard to tell. And tomorrow's matchup, we have a TV game tomorrow? That is my question. That is the question, guys. Do we have a TV game? Do you know? I didn't even look. So I check these literally right before because like I have the schedule on my phone, so I just check it the day of, like right before. I don't even really. Okay, so tomorrow's the 2nd. We got the Rangers at 2:10. Burns getting the start. Now that'll be interesting to see if Burns goes longer than the traditional guys. It does look like it is going to be on Bally Sports Wisconsin, WTMJ, so we will not have to listen to the other team's broadcast. That's a good thing. All right. Last piece. I hesitate to want to do this, but the last piece I want to bring up today, and the last piece I'm going to talk about, is the report MLBI system that gets to a salary cap despite MLBPA's resistance. So it's already in there. It's already been discussed that the MLBPA does not want it. The players don't want this. The Players Association does not want this. Nobody wants this. Well, nobody that is not. People are going to tell me straight out. I know this. I'm just going to say this right out. People are going to say I don't understand the economics of baseball, and that's quite frankly not the case. I do fully understand what's going on. I fully understand that we're being lied to. And yeah, you can call me wild. You can call me a conspiracy theorist. We are being lied to. There is ability for other teams, other than the big markets. The Padres are a small market, and they spent like crazy this year. There is an opportunity for them to spend money to sign players, and they say they can't because they like their profit sheets. That's the truth. It just is. I'm sorry. They've hid this for years. Guys participate. Look at the Pirates. I mean, that guy's doing fine, but he plays that he isn't. I'm not making any money. Well, then why don't you sell the business? If these teams aren't making money, if they're not turning a real profit or a good profit, then why are they still in it? Same concept as the Mark Antonazio sell the team. If you aren't playing to win the World Series, then why do you own a professional sports team? Just like any NFL team, you know. But those people have salary caps. So MLB is reportedly pushing to install a salary cap to close the gap. And I'm going to take Butcher's hashtag MLB salary floor, because when year after year teams aren't wielding, and I use the Pirates as the example, aren't wielding a competitive team, that wrecks the sport too. Teams going out there to not be competitive, to just get their revenue shares and be done, also wrecks the sport. And it hurts the players. Hurts the game. Install a cap to close the gap between MLB's richest teams and its smaller market franchises. Oh, here we go. Small market. Yes, there are smaller markets. I do get that. I'm not, but that's their buzzword. That's them excusing someone for not spending money at the end of the day. That's what that comes down to. That's what that is. Don't look at it any other way. They're fooling you. And I've been talking on this for years. And people say I'm misguided and I don't understand. No, I fully understand. You are all bamboozled. I will not allow myself to be bamboozled by these guys. They're making money. They wouldn't be operating these things. These stadiums would be closing around the country if these small market teams were this broke. They'd be bankrupt. They would have no money to even hire people to run. Anyways, and they don't have to disclose all their numbers. So I don't think the numbers that we do see are a true accurate representation. I mean, how did the Brewers get from a $200 million sale to a 1.2 something billion valuation? Right. Leave that answer in the comments below if you have an answer that makes sense, that doesn't say they're worth money, that they're losing money. You can't make an argument that they've been losing money yet are valued at way higher than when Mark Antonazio bought them 8 years ago. There's no argument for that. So, but do try. Leave it down below, please. because I know you're going to come. I already, you're sniping for me. You're going to come, and I get it. That's fine. But at the same time, this whole idea. So basically, according to Evan Drellich of The Athletic, Commissioner Rob Manfred has said MLB's Economic Reform Committee is focusing on television distribution and revenue disparity. But the industry source told Drellich an underlying motivation of the committee is to address small market owners' concerns. So basically what happened is Steve Cohen happened, and they came out and they decided, oh, we're gonna put a committee together to try and stop what Steve Cohen's doing, because they didn't like what Steve Cohen was doing, because he was doing something different and out of the fact. Yes, he has more money than Mark Antonazio. Yes, he has more money. But that doesn't, and I'm not saying that every team needs to spend $300 million. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying they need to spend to make their teams better. The Brewers could sign all their free agents or pending free agents and still not bankrupt their team. In fact, it would bring more money in because the fans would know that they're committed. I mean, I look at the example. The other day, I went to buy opening day tickets, and normally if you don't buy them first thing in the morning, you don't have a shot, and you got to go find a third-party vendor like a SeatGeek or another source and get them, or have a buddy that has season tickets that can get you some access to some. I've done it every year. But now, suddenly they're available. Hours later, it was like 3-4 in the afternoon, and I still bought them. So you can't tell me that there's lack of interest and people are angry at the team. And if you're going to try and give me an economics lesson, great. I'd love to hear it, because they are going to sell less tickets this year. They are, unless they make some commitments to this club and to doing something, because people are done with it, especially after that joke of a $6 voucher last year. Just joke. So the idea here and what's going on, obviously I'm not mentioning the Bally Sports thing. The regional sports network money will work itself out, whether MLB decides to fund their own or whatever. Right now, this is all talk. They are trying to come up with a plan to, quote unquote, save baseball. Similar to the new rules, they're trying to save baseball, bring in revenue, bring in new fan bases. The whole idea is to basically come up with a system that gets a salary cap. Rob didn't lie by saying it has to do with the regional sports networks, dealing with the regional sports networks, because these teams will lose more money and the disparity will get bigger. So they are using that to excuse the study in the committee. The MLB Players Association has remained steadfast on its opposition to the salary cap. MLBPA executive Tony Clark told reporters Saturday that there's never going to agree to a cap. So if the players are already saying they're not going to agree to a cap, not bloody likely that we see one. But they're still going to push forward. They created the committee in part to address the Bally thing and the regional sports networks and owners who are unhappy about the difference in the amount of money teams make. Again, we're not privy to this information. We are not privy to this information. There's a lot of hidden numbers and hidden values and things in this that are not a part of what has to be shared. So we don't really know. And this is where they've cooked up the lie, because they don't have to tell you that they potentially all get equal pieces of revenue, and they don't got to tell you that. Like, it doesn't matter. But for TV rights, anyways, that's pretty well split, pretty even from everything I've researched and read. And the Butcher also did the same research, so just saying. But yes, there is big market teams. There are owners that have more money. I'm not denying that. And I'm not saying that every team should spend $300 million. So don't misunderstand me when you read the title of this video, and don't click on it. I'll know you didn't click on it because you probably didn't get all the way through the video. But it's the disparity that baseball wants to try and put in front of us, and the conversation and the argument that they want to put in front of us. They like to cause us these stresses and these things. They don't want to just operate the business. They want to have, big CBA disagreements that halt the game. They don't want to hype their game properly. I mean, gosh, if marketing, if there was a guy in charge, like a marketing guy, a guru in charge of this thing, this would be way more successful, way more popular than it is. And then they wouldn't have to worry about fighting over revenue and worrying about the fact that Steve Cohen is choosing to spend all this money. The New York Mets, led by billionaire owner Steve Cohen, has become poster child for throwing money around and led MLB with $336 million in payroll, according to Sports Track. That puts them nearly $70 million ahead of the second-place Yankees. While the Mets, Yankees, Phillies, San Diego Padres, Los Angeles Dodgers, Toronto Blue Jays, Los Angeles Angels all have payrolls that exceed $200 million. 9 teams hold payrolls under $100 million. That's them choosing not to spend. The Oakland A's have the lowest spending in MLB at just under $40.9 million. Yeah, that just shows you that. I'm sorry, but that shows you somebody's taking a bigger cut of that money. It is what it is. This is going to be an ongoing discussion. I'm sure of it. But I think they should have a salary floor. Think how much more talent the Oakland A's would have with $60 million. Let's say it's $100 million. Let's put $100 million as the floor. It would also make them more competitive. Year after year, we want these teams to be competitive. We want the game to be better. We're doing all these rule changes, all these updates to the game to make it better. Let's start a salary floor. Let's make them spend some money to put a team on the field. It's not going to bankrupt them. They won't be bankrupt. They're not bankrupt. Don't let them fool you. Don't let the small market talk fool you. Don't let the BS that they've been feeding down your throats for years fool you. Wake up, people. They have money. They make money. That's why they own teams. That's why they own businesses, to make money. It's a revenue source. Heck, Mark Antanasio went out and bought a soccer team. Don't let them fool you, guys. That's all I got on that right now. This is going to be an ongoing topic. We're going to open it up for a live discussion probably Saturday. So if you want to come back Saturday and talk live about salary caps and salary floors, we can do that. I don't think we need to have a salary cap, and I'm going to continue to say that. And there's not much you can convince me otherwise. So, yeah, that's all we got. We'll talk about the game again tomorrow. We'll go live Saturday, so stay tuned for that, guys. If you haven't already, remember, like, subscribe, share this video with your friends. Be a friend, tell a friend. I am going to keep coming back at you with episodes here. We'll do some more deep dives. We're going to talk a lot more about the salary cap discussion because it's going to come to the forefront here very soon. And it may cause us another lockout. So if you enjoyed not having baseball and not being able to enjoy any baseball news, root for them to get a salary cap and try and pull this off with the salary cap. It ain't happening. But that being said, guys, have a great rest of your night. And as always, go Brewers.
Thank you for watching the Miller Park Minute. Go Brewers.